Hello everyone, welcome to Tarot with Honey. Thanks so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Here we have another video for our deck review playlist. I know a lot of you have been curious, have been asking, what decks do you use? So here is the tea, if you will. This is a little insight on some of the decks that I use, some of the decks that I love. And we are going to be using a little checklist. I don't know, I feel like I've been changing the way I say it each video. Checklist, criteria, but you get the gist. There's a criteria of what I'm going to be using to kind of rate each deck. Now, by no means is my rating, final. If you have a different opinion, if you love the deck or if you don't love the deck, that's your opinion, that's your experience. You should always go with the deck that resonates with you. But pretty much the criteria that I have utilizes a lot of the different things that people might want to look for when they're getting a deck, like quality, print, cost, things like that. So those are the things that I'll be kind of going over. And then we'll do a quick little flip through so that you can see what is actually in the deck. So yes, this is Tarot with Honey. If you have not subscribed, please pause the video and subscribe. Because it gives more of, I guess, to the algorithm so people could see videos that they're interested in. It gives more exposure so people could view the videos and also like it. If you like the video, then like it. So we're going to begin. I have a smoothie, so I may take a little sip here or there, but the deck that we're going to be reviewing today is called the Ask Your Guides Oracle. In the last deck review, I was going over After Tarot. And so in this one, we're going to be doing an Oracle deck. And this deck is called Ask Your Guides Oracle cards. There are 56 cards, and it comes in this very thick, lovely, protective card case here. When you open it, it also comes with a guidebook, which has kind of become standard, I would say, in most cases. Yes and no, because sometimes they, certain companies, certain creators will have you download it online like a PDF, but it's nice to kind of have a guidebook that is accompanied with your deck. And this is a part of the package. So it comes in here like that, nice and neat. And I did want to open this up really quickly because actually, no, I'm not going to open it up. If you want to buy this deck, then there's something really special when you open it up, like in the bottom. So I'm not gonna spoil the surprise, but I thought it was kind of neat when I opened mine up. And if anyone has this deck, don't spoil the surprise. Let people buy it if they want to, if they feel that that the deck resonates with them. Let them buy it and let them experience that for themselves. We're not going to do what people do when they watch the movies and they end up, no spoiler alerts, if you will. So let's get started. I always like to start with card quality and size. So this is a little bit of a bigger deck in width. So I want to say it's about 3 by 3 1/4, 3 by 4. And the edges are a little rounded. which doesn't really make a difference, but it does feel, you know, it's like very rounded. So you can feel it in your hands when you're shuffling. I'm a little bit sensitive to things like that. So I pay close attention to things like that. All right. So it's a little bit big, but not too big. I can shuffle it. And the card stock is not very thick. I mean, it's not offensively thin. Actually, no, I take that back. It is a little bit offensively thin. I take that back. And the reason why is because even on here, you can see like there's a little bit of indentation. And I use this deck, but I also keep it in the case. So I try to, you know, keep everything organized so I don't forget what the name of things are. I'm also very visual. So when I'm looking at my decks, if I see this, that doesn't mean anything to me. But if I see this, I say, oh, okay, like this is my favorite deck, or, you know, whatever. This is a deck that I don't use or do use. So I'm very visual and I like seeing things like that. This deck, the paperweight is too thin, in my personal opinion. There's nothing really special about it. There's no foil, nothing like that. Also, as you guys can see, I just shuffled it and there's like a little bit of an indentation on the cards, even though I did a side shuffle. So let's see. And my shuffling skills, forgive me, it's really bad. But can you guys see that? That's not great. This one right there. Let me try that again. Do not come for me in the comments talking about how bad my shuffling is. My shuffling has always been bad, but it's okay. All right, that's a little bit better. Redeem myself a little bit more. Do you see that indentation there? Not a fan of that. Let's see if I could do this one more time. All right, that's a little bit better. Do you see that indentation? That lets you know that the cardstock is really not that thick. Now, to their defense, when you're working with this many cards, I believe it's 56, 56. You don't want to go too thick because then it kind of increases the overall width of the cards itself. It also makes it hard to shuffle, you know, if it's too thick. But I always like to have a deck that does not bend. So however they figure that out, whether it's the weight of the card, the you know, however they do that, I like for cards not to bend, if possible. And this deck is kind of giving me that vibe. If you've experienced that, if you have this deck, please leave some comments below to let me know what your experiences are with this deck. Let's keep it fun and clean. You know, the comments there. Let's see. So I think I'm gonna give up. Well, let me finish the review before I make any assessments. So card quality, size, this is a little bit big in my opinion, but it's okay to shuffle. The thickness, they can improve with that. Print quality. So I like to do 0.2 and 3 together, print quality and imagery, because I think they kind of go hand in hand. So I'm going to try to get this in the middle. The funny thing about this is that where my camera is, it's covering if it's in the middle or not. So hopefully this is in the middle. So we're going to flip through the cards, and this will give you the opportunity to see the beautiful illustrations, and the imagery and the level of vibrancy, if you will. And I'm going to enjoy my smoothie as I'm going through this. All right. So this is the first card. I will say that there are not too many color variations in this deck, if you will. The art feels very organic and minimalistic, in my opinion. However, it's very clear and concise, which is very nice. You don't need too much. You know, this would be something that I would consider not busy. But very potent at the same time. So as you're reading, you can really enjoy the imagery. You can really connect with the cards. You can really connect with spirit to give a very clear reading. Absolutely. I mean, look at this. The chains are broken, right? Your heart chakra is open, clear. And any other energy and imagery you pull from there, it's very much so open for interpretation, inclusive, if you will. Very beautifully illustrated, I would say. Like I said before, the colors are not, you know, like the rainbow, but I think that they are used very well. I'm gonna try to find a deck. There's another deck that I have that, like, it's just so vibrant. I wouldn't call this vibrant, but I would call it beautiful. The colors are somewhat muted, but it's appropriate for the direction of the deck. So I think that this deck is doing a great job of being itself. And I can appreciate it for that purpose. Very beautiful. See, not too many colors using, especially like in one card, but I think it's still very effective and beautiful. So I like that a lot. I think I'm skipping cards here. Okay. Very beautiful. So much movement, so much energy, fluidity in these cards. I would say that these cards are more on the feminine side of it, you know, like feminine energy for sure. Whereas some of the other decks that I've used were more either unisex or something like that. This is definitely giving me soft feminine vibes, for sure. Not any, you know, not warrior feminine or anything like that. Very fluid, very pretty. I like it. I like it. Very whimsical, I would say. Somewhat abstract. And I'm using these words because I'm trying to find the best word to help me to describe the actual artwork of this and how one would feel when they are reading it. How are they channeling energy? And do they think that this is a great tool or an effective tool to channel specific messages during a reading? And my answer to that will be yes. Such a beautiful card. My answer to that will be yes. I think you can definitely channel clarity and spirit with these cards, absolutely. And, oh, this is a good one. This is good. Talk about feminine energy, shadow work. That one's good. And before we finish with the card, like flipping the cards, I would say that the word description on the cards are very minimalistic with the artwork as well. What I've seen in other decks is that usually when there's a lot of artwork going on, there's less words. But here, I would say that this is such a beautiful card. Yeah, this is a beautiful card. The the artwork is minimalistic, but it's very effective. It's very whimsical, very spirit driven. I could, I can shuffle it. That gets a lot of points in my book. You guys know my shuffling skills. I really feel like someone's gonna say, be like, her shuffling skills. Keep it fun, you guys. Keep it fun. Let's see. The word count. Yeah, the word count is really not that great, but I think that it doesn't need it, even though the artwork is not complex. Well, I shouldn't use that word. It is complex. It is rich. But even though it's not overwhelming or, there's not too much going on with the color scheme in each card, it's still very effective in evoking energy and the message. And I think that getting, doing an oracle reading and also incorporating tarot with this would be very beautiful, very effective. And I think that both you and whoever you're reading for would be very pleased with the actual outcome of the reading because of that. So let me just quickly look at the price and see if we think that it is worth it. I don't remember how much I paid for this. It was a little while ago. But let's see. So here, as of today, we're in 2024. It is $21.14. It was previously $24.99. So previously about $25. Now it's like a few dollars off. So let's just say $21. Here on the box, it says 24. So yeah, it was 24. Now it's 21. Do I think it's worth it? Yes, I do think it's worth the price. Not terribly happy with the cardstock, but again, I can see why. You don't want it to be too thick because then this would come out too much. I think $21 is worth it. Would I pay $25 for it? Maybe, maybe not. I'm not sure. But let's do the criteria. So the card quality and size, I think that they are a little big for my liking, but nevertheless, I could definitely shuffle them, and I have done readings with them, so they're fine. The cardstock, I think I'm going to take off maybe, I don't know, half a point for the cardstock. Print quality definitely keeps the point. I think it's beautiful. I think the design, the imagery are also quite beautiful. I think I'm actually going to take a full point off for the thickness because of the indentations that we saw earlier. So yeah, it gets a full point off for that. Word descriptions, I think it's pretty clear and concise what it is, not, overthinking anything, not over describing anything. Also, it comes with a guidebook. If you do need clarity for whatever reason, you can always refer to that. And then I think the cost is pretty appropriate for what you're getting, $21 for 56 cards. So all in all, I would rate this a 4 out of 5. Again, this is purely my opinion. So if you have this deck and you absolutely hate it, then, you know, don't use the deck. If you have it and you would give it a 10 out of 5, then use the deck, use it, love it, all that. This is purely my opinion, rating it on the 5 criteria that I mentioned before, which is the card quality, size, print quality, imagery, artwork. How creative is this? Does it ignite, you know, any inspiration? How descriptive it is with the word descriptions. Does it need it? Does it have it? Also the cost, is it worth the cost? So those are the 5 criteria that I use to rate my decks and doing these deck reviews for people. Those are the things that I think that people would get value from getting a little more clarity about before they get the deck. So yeah, I would give this a 4 out of 5. Does that mean that I would not recommend the deck or I wouldn't buy it again or anything like that? No. I think that this is really, truly a beautiful deck. I think that anyone who buys the deck will enjoy the deck. I think that they would do very amazing, effective readings with the deck. So go for it if you feel connected to this imagery, if you feel like the price point is for you and what you've seen today is for you. Definitely go for it and invest in this deck. Ask Your Guide Oracle. I'm going to go ahead and leave the link, the direct link for this deck on Amazon in my description below for this video. So you can go check it out and know that you're getting the link directly to this particular deck in the review. So if you have stayed until this point, thanks again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to Tarot with Honey. The more subscribers we have, the more videos I can create and the more we can get the message out to those who need it, want it, or just want to listen to it. And if you've stayed till this far in the video, please go ahead and like it, give it a thumbs up. I guess that helps the algorithm with getting, you know, the word out even more. And thanks again for watching Tarot with Honey. I will see you in the next video. Remember, we're doing a deck review series. So once you finish this one, feel free to check out the other deck review videos in that playlist. And I'll see you in the next video.